I want to thank everybody for continuously coming every single day, listening to the podcast, Affirmations for Recovery. This message is sponsored by Al, the new app for today's working entrepreneur, man. Make sure you download this app in the App Store, OWWLL, and use my referral code, EA. Get you $10, make your first call. Let's go. Let's continue to grow. Again, go to your App Store, OWWLL, and thank me later.
If it's a seed of destruction, man, it's always going to produce destruction.
Welcome. I appreciate everybody continuously supporting Affirmations for Recovery. This is the podcast that I talk about recovery, and recovery is a mindset. It's not a substance, and people always get that misconfused. So today is a special day, guys. Very special day. This interview means a lot to me. Just to watch this young man persevere. I seen him come from the gang life to serving for the Lord, right? And it's a lot in between too, right? There's a lot that went in between. So I'm gonna let him introduce himself. My brother, man, tell my people about you, a little bit about you, and we just gonna dive in.
Yeah, man. My name is Mark Miles Jr., man, also known as Meezilini the Messenger.
Yes.
Directly from Portland, Oregon, man. You know, born and raised in Portland, Oregon. Like EA said, man, just coming from the trenches in Portland, Oregon, man. Grew up in a good family home, man. You know what I mean? My mom was away, but my dad was there for me growing up. And my mom has been in recovery now for 30 years now. Yeah,
okay,
30 years.
Wait a minute. Stop the press. That's a big deal. I like to celebrate everything, especially when it's talking about recovery, man. So yeah, shout out to Mama, man. Congratulations.
Yes, sir.
That's huge.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you said Mama had a drug. I didn't know that, bro. I grew up with you. I didn't know Mama had substance abuse issues.
Yeah. So my mom, man. So Ornella was my stepmom. My mom. Yeah, my dad and my mom divorced when I was real young. So my mom struggled for most of my young life all the way. She got clean when I was 15 years old. That's when she got clean. Damn. You know what I mean? So she was she was there, but she was in and out. You know, I would do like certain weekends at mom's house. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So yeah, me and my sister have the same mom.
Angie,
Aaron, and Marlon have the same mom.
Okay, see, I didn't know. I've been knowing your family since, Pops was like heavy in the coaching and just making sure he was a community activist type dude. We lived in the same neighborhood, and Pops was like the man. We used to come to Pops' house, play basketball, just really hang out at Pops on the corner, 7th and Holman. Yeah, I remember that. Holman, yeah, for everybody.
Yes, sir.
How far we go back, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? I was rocking with you even before you even decided to even play with the gangs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for real. When we was over there hooping.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And you grew up from a solid home. So tell us, how did you go from a solid home to like being in the gangs, bro? Like, what happened?
Well, so it has it's a bunch. It's like a gumbo pot,
right?
But it was a lot has to do with the environment, because remember, crack hit that area hard. We actually watched our neighborhood from being outside playing basketball, being able to do that, to shootings every night.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Dudes wearing red rags. You know what I mean? It was a culture shock, because it was almost like overnight. You know what I mean? And we was in a position to where we was, you already know, me and you, we were in a position to where we actually had a community, and we actually were able to witness the destruction of it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like step by step. And so it was the environment played a part in it, just the culture, the TV, the things that I watched, and then also like my mom's side of the family. So we had me and my brothers and my sisters, we grew up in the same house, but we had a different experience in that house, right? Because for me, it was a broken home, because although I had a stepmother there, I didn't have my real mother there.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I always kind of felt like the outsider.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Yeah. And so not saying that Mama Nell wasn't wasn't loving,
Right.
but it was just the way I processed it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then on my mom's side, so like I said, I would be over there on the weekends, summertime, stuff like that. And my mom was on drugs, so my mom sometimes would drop me off at grandma's house, at auntie's in them house. Auntie and them, they struggling with drugs and addiction. So that whole side of the family was hustlers and drug dealers and drug addicts.
Mm-hmm.
So I would get that influence from that side of the family. You know what I mean? So it was kind of like an unbalanced kind of my dad trying to teach me something inside the house, but the culture is telling me something. My mom's side of the family is telling me something. You know what I mean? The music that I'm listening to now and the things that I'm watching. So it was really like an optional choice for me, where it wasn't for Aaron and Marlon because they didn't have that option. It was more like they seen the environment, but the option wasn't so accessible.
Yes. Good word.
You see what I'm saying?
Word.
The option wasn't accessible to where when I wanted to actually get into hustling at 15, I can call my auntie and be like, Auntie, you know where to get some work from? You see what I'm saying? Where Aaron and them, even if they had that intent, they didn't have access to that kind of environment. You know what I mean?
That's crazy. I didn't even know that. I was growing up with y'all. I thought something totally different, man. Y'all was like the Cosby Show, bro. Y'all had the Cosby family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. It was. I mean, it was like a lot of the stuff that my dad implemented in me saved my life, though, right? In the streets.
Yes.
And it because my dad would implement stuff that was universal truths, right? Mm-hmm. Stay out the limelight. Like he would say that before I was even in the streets. He would say, "Man, you know, the limelight is not for." He used to say things like, "You guys shouldn't be in the limelight so much," and that means like stop letting people see you all the time.
Right?
You know what I mean? He would tell us stuff like, "Don't go the same way twice. You know, switch it up. Don't let people see your routines. Things like that." You know what I mean? He would implement those things in me. So when I got into the streets, that kind of helped me. Play the shadows. He used to come tell me, even when I was in the streets, man, too many people seeing you. Because they'll see me on the block on Albina, my Uncle Leonard's and them. They'd be like, man, I rode by and seen Mark out there on Albina and Killingsworth. And you know what I mean?
Wrong place for him.
Yeah. So my dad, he would come see me because by that time I was out the house. I left the house at like 16 years old. So at that time, my dad would come see me at my girlfriend's house that I was with. And he would be like, man, stay out the limelight. You know, I always taught y'all, man, to stay out the limelight. Then he started telling me, man, play the shadows, man. You know what I mean? He was implementing me in things that he knew. So he knew I wasn't going to get out the streets at the time, but he wanted me to survive. So he would give me wisdom on, look, man, because he's from Detroit, really. So my dad had a history too.
Oh, yeah.
Before he came out to Portland.
Yeah.
So when I was 14, I moved to Detroit. My dad sent me to Detroit. I stayed out there for a year and a half, and then I came back. That year and a half, I learned more about my dad than I did in the 14 years that I was in the house with him.
So Pops,
I knew about Pops. Yeah, Pops was from the streets. Yeah. So he was a player. You know that's how. If you know, I got an older brother that I met later, Marcus.
I didn't know that.
The light-skinned one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he lived in he moved in Portland with us when he was 18. So he's been in Portland now for about 20 something years. But I met him when I used to live in Detroit. I met him when he was 18. I think I was 15 years old. You know what I mean? And you know, Pops had a baby. He had a son before he didn't even know he had a son.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
And I know Pops too. Pops is a great man, not a good man, a great man. Great father, great leader. You know what I'm saying?
A pillar in the community, man.
Community.
So so he changed when he had us. When he had us, he came home from the Navy. Then he moved to Portland from the Navy, and he started to implement change in his life. You know, started to get more involved in his faith and things like that. But when I moved to Detroit, I learned a different side of him, and I met his friends. Them dudes was gangsters. Them dudes was coming home from prison and things like that.
They was killers and dealers.
Yeah, real dealers, real dudes. My dad got stabbed when he was like 16 years old. You know what I'm saying? 17 years old. so he had the wisdom of the street. He just wasn't in there involved in it no more. Right. So he would come, hey man, you need to play the shadows, man. Don't go the same way twice. Dudes will find your routine, man, and set you up, things like that. You know what I'm saying? So my dad was he was a wise. I mean, he is. I'm talking about he was. Yeah. But he is a wise man, and kept me alive. Even though he didn't want me to go that route, he knew that if I can keep him alive long enough, the things that I planted in him, will surely grow.
I couldn't stress that enough. As a father, I definitely understand that now. You know what I mean? Because I have a father as well, and I at some point I did what I wanted to do, but having a great father it never leaves you the stuff that they put into you. Even though we decide to do whatever we want to do, I've been there and I've done that. But when I decided to wake up, I always remember what my dad had planted in me, and I know that you had the same kind of energy. You know what I'm saying? Your dad placed a lot in you, so when you drove down the wrong street for a little while, once you decided to go back the right way, you already knew where to go.
Yeah, I used to call them breadcrumbs. I had the breadcrumbs to follow, you know what I mean? Like to follow back home. And another thing is my mom. So when my mom got in recovery, it showed me something else too. So even by that time I was smoking weed and doing my drinking and stuff like that. But once I started, going to like her year anniversaries and things like that, going to the meetings. What it did was it got me unconsciously or indirectly involved in recovery at a young age. Where when I was ready, I knew about the steps. So those were also breadcrumbs too, because it showed me that what I was doing, it showed me that the way that she taught me, like, partying all the time, it told me that, okay, something is wrong about this because she's trying to fix it.
Yes.
So it put something in my head at a young age, like, okay, this is not the way. Because my mom trying to fix it, you know what I mean? So if it was the way, then she wouldn't be trying to fix it. So it kind of planted that seed in me. Once I started to get older, getting in trouble, going to prison, coming home, just all this other stuff. And when I was ready, even those seeds was like, okay, how to take these steps. Hey mom, I'm on the fourth step. I'm on, you know what I mean? And so it was things like that. So both of my parents, my dad was more strategic because we need, as a man, we need our fathers.
Absolutely.
But when I was ready to get clean, I knew the steps on how to do that through my mom.
So let's go back a little bit, because you said, get clean. I know firsthand a lot of the story that I'm gonna ask for, right? I've been there, I watched it. They making movies about you, bro. Like, for real. Some of the shit you've encountered, like from the gangs, the pimping and the pandering. And I remember specifically, like a few years ago, maybe 5-10 years ago, there was a situation where, one of the young ladies that you had been working with, from a prostitution standpoint, she came up murdered.
Yeah,
man. Tell us a little bit about that, bro. How that affected you, and in these days.
Man, yeah. So in 2013, man, me and a few of my girls, because I was like you said, I was in the pimp gang. I lived the pimp lifestyle. So I'm transparent and open because God's delivered me from that, man. And so I'm always open to tell a testimony. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, so I was in the gang, man, and so we were in Hawaii. Ivanese Harris, man,
rest in peace. Rest in forever.
Yeah, rest in peace, man. Rest her soul, man. She was a beautiful soul, man. She was with me at the time. It was about 8 years she was with me. You know what I mean? And I had two other girls. You know what I'm saying? That was out there, and so we were just in the lifestyle. We made a trip out there for the last 3 years around our birthdays, kind of celebrate our birthday, go get some money, hang out, you know what I mean, party a little bit. And so this time it was maybe 2 days before her birthday, she ended up missing. And we were putting out flyers looking for her, you know what I mean? And then a day after, 2 days after her birthday, I think it was 2 days, they found her body. She was killed. She was murdered by a master sergeant, a Marine sergeant. a master sergeant in the Marine Corps. They end up finding him later on, maybe about a month later. They did some investigation, ended up finding him through videos and things like that. He got court-martialed, went to prison. They gave him, I think, 25 years to life. And then they end up indicting me.
Indicted you?
Well, not for the murder. They indicted me for bringing her out there. So transportation of a prostitute basically was the charge. It was the Mann Act in a federal. It's like promoting prostitution basically.
Right.
In the federal court.
Damn, they're finding a way. Man, I'm telling you, they'll find a way to get you.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And so that affected me, bro. So when it first happened, it really struck. It really blew me away. I didn't know how to process it, bro. I spiraled out. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like I was coked up, man. I was on. You know what I mean? I was drunk every night, just trying to deal with it. You know what I mean? Trying to numb myself. Mm-hmm. More women, more. You know what I mean? I felt trapped to the game now. Mm-hmm. Almost chained. It was more like it was kind of like if you was if anybody out there that was ever in the gang and lost a homie in the gang, you feel obligated to never leave that gang because your homie died for it, right? And really, that's a deception.
Yes.
And but that's how I felt. I felt like I can never leave this game. You know, I'm always going to be a part. I'm going to go even more harder.
Yes.
Because she died for me, trying to get me some money, trying to, you know what I mean, being loyal to me in this lifestyle. Mm. So I'm going to always be in this lifestyle to honor her. Mm. So that's what I felt like, bro. But deep down inside, I was scared too, you know, because I still had all these other women. And when you go through something like that, it becomes almost like it's a traumatizing event. Yes. That it becomes like a fear in you that this will happen again, or this, and it could, you know what I mean? But
I mean, that's the lifestyle.
Yeah, but it's more like now every woman can get that. Well, this I'm almost paranoid now. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it was like, so it brought me down to a dark place, shame, guilt, hurt, and then when I went to prison, when I was in my first little 2-3 months, I sobered. You know, it was sobering time, and so I couldn't numb the pain. I couldn't. You know, I had to face it. You know, I had to. Yeah, I had to really live it, bro. I had to live in it. I had to sit in it, man. I had to swallow it and chew it.
When they indicted you, I just want to narrate the story a little bit. When they indicted you, did you get convicted for taking her?
Yeah. Well, I ended up pleading. I ended up pleading out to a lesser charge.
Okay.
Because first they tried to get me from. They had a bunch. What happened was they were already investigating me before Ivanese. So a year before that, I was already under their radar. There was some informants that came out and they put me on their radar for almost about a year and some change before that. Mm. And so. After she died, when she went missing, I went public. So I kind of threw myself in the fire because we were on the news. We were actually looking for her. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew something was wrong. I knew something was wrong because that's not how we get down.
Right.
So I'm like, man, something is going on. We calling the hospitals, we calling it the jails, we calling, you know what I mean? Her mom ain't heard from her. She called her mom every day. Like her sisters and them, we were like, man, I'm like, something is wrong. And so it compelled me to say, you know what? I'm not going to be hiding in the shadows about this, man. I'm going to step up. We went on a media campaign. Man. If you've seen this girl reach this number right here, we went to reported her to the police. I came clean with them. Man, this is what we was doing.
Damn, you know,
I had to give myself up because I was so finding her was so important to me. You know what I mean? And I didn't know how much time we had. You know what I mean? And I knew something was wrong. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I know she did. I knew it wasn't like she just made a move and just left. You know what I mean?
She wasn't that tight.
Like, so I'm like, man, this is something serious. And so, so I basically put myself in the fire. And then when the feds, because I was under investigation by the federal government, when the government got a hold of this and they seen me, they already had me, following me already before that. Yeah, I was already on their radar. Then I became public enemy number one after that. And so then they got to tapping my phones and following me. Yeah, it was intense, man. It was intense.
How much time did you wind up doing for all that?
3 years.
Damn.
First, it was all God though, man. It was really. So first they was talking about 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They was trying to give me to throw the book at me.
Yeah, 188 months. That's what.
Yeah, they was trying to throw the book at me.
Yeah.
What happened was the woman that was on my case. So Amanda Marshall, she was the federal prosecutor overall. She was the top.
Oh, well, she was the attorney general.
Attorney, yeah, not the attorney general, but she was right under the attorney general.
Okay.
So, what happened was, man, so she got not indicted, but she got caught up in a she got caught up, bro. She in a scandal, right? Because she started dating a prosecutor by the name of Scott Karen, had an affair with him. And when they found out and got wind of this affair, because I think he blew it up because she was like harassing him or something like that. I can't remember. But I was sitting in the county, not in the county, I was at the FTC awaiting trial and all this. So all this came about. They moved her off of everything. Like she had to resign during my case. And she was one of the females that was kind of like trying to get on me. Boom. So she had to get resigned. Stacey Beckerman, she was actually the prosecutor on my case, and she, these are two women, and they had tunnel vision when it came to sex trafficking at that time.
Of course,
that was what the thing was: sex trafficking, get these men up, these scumbags off the street, this and that.
Absolutely.
And so Stacey Beckerman was invested in this case, but she got promoted to judge. And when she got promoted to magistrate judge, her caseload, she had to take that. That was an opportunity for her. So her caseload was spread out to everybody. Most people got a lady by the name of I forgot her name. They called her a pit bull, right? She was a pit bull. She was an up and coming prosecutor, federal prosecutor, and she got a lot of the due because it was an indictment. It wasn't just me. It was like an 8-count indictment on like 8 other brothers that they brought in. Most of them dudes got her. I ended up getting a dude by the name of Craig Gabriel. He wasn't invested in sex trafficking. He was more of a prosecutor for reservations in native reservations, Indian reservations.
Oh, so he was like immigration.
Well, yeah. Well, anything on the native reservations are federal.
Okay.
So anything that happened, any crime, like even like murder murder in the regular, city, that's a state charge. Murder in the Indian reservation, that's a federal charge.
Okay.
So he deals with a lot of those federal charges on the native lands.
Got it.
And so he just kind of picked up the case because her case had to be spread out. But that was by the grace of God because, like I said, he wasn't invested in the case. And so when he started getting the details about the case and then seeing that Ivanice's family supported me, there was no victim impact. You know what I mean? So usually in the victim impact, the prosecutor will say, okay, we can't go lower than this amount of time by respecting the victim's family.
Right.
But since the victim's family is on my side, then there's no need to kind of have a regulatory sentencing guideline.
Right.
You know what I mean? So Ivanice's mom, she wrote a letter to the judge. She wrote a letter to the prosecutor. Ivanice's mom, Pat.
Wow.
Ivanice's sister. Wow. She is in full support of me, man. And I love them to death to the day, man. You know what I'm saying? They love me. And her dad, rest in peace, man. A good soul too, man. They were all in support of me because they knew they knew the truth. You know what I'm saying? They knew that we were in this lifestyle together. I wasn't no forced thing. It was she was doing this before I met her. I didn't bring her into it. It was just like, I'm doing this. She was already doing that. Let's team up and do it together. You know what I mean? So it was more like that. And so I treated her right. You know what I mean? So as far as the lifestyle, I didn't put hands on her. I didn't, mistreat her. I gave her what she wanted. We was riding Benzes together, matching Benzes. You know what I mean? We were always sharp. I'm buying her. I mean, so we had our own place, our own house. So it wasn't like
you did everything.
I took care of her. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. As far as the game was concerned, you know what I'm saying? And the side of the game.
I know we're getting like near the end of the interview, but I definitely want to make time to talk about like what you're doing today, because I know that God, I see firsthand. Like I said, I've known you since the beginning, middle, and now where you are today, and I just see the work that God is doing. I want you to testify. I want you to take a moment and just talk about what you're doing today, how God is using you, and how can people support you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, I really appreciate it, bro. Yeah. So, so like I said, during the time, man, I found the Lord, man. I gave my life to Christ, man. It was a powerful moment. I had an encounter with God, man. I can't explain it. I can't explain it except for the fact that it was supernatural, man. It was a supernatural encounter that I had with God in my cell. I surrendered. I told him to come into my life. I cried out to him, man. I got on my knees. I mean, it was, and I just felt him I felt his presence for the first time in my life. I felt his love for the first time in my life. I knew it was him. I knew he forgave me, and he gave me a new heart, man. He gave me a new perspective. I started having a new desire to read the word. So I was reading the word. I was locked up. I only had like 5 months left. And I always say this because really, man, I had my own plans. Like, I wasn't done with the game.
Right.
It wasn't like I was praying for him to get me out of trouble. I was already sentenced. You know what I mean? Like, I was already done with my time. I only had 5 months left.
Right. And after doing that kind of time, 5 months is like you sitting on the toilet.
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah. I'm done with this. I'm finna come home.
Right.
I got plans. I was finna rap. I was finna do my rap thing. Me and Smurf had 2 real records and Roseville Money Bag Boys. I wasn't done with that. You know what I mean? I wasn't trying to get any prostitutes, but I was, I had plans on managing strippers. You know what I mean?
You said managing strippers.
Yeah, I was gonna manage strippers. I had this all written down, bro. Right? I was gonna take pictures, put them in like magazines. Try to put them in the little because in prison, you got the little magazines and stuff. So I'm gonna put them in magazines. I'm gonna make calendars and stripper calendars and sell them to the dudes in prison. I had my little game plan I was gonna kind of tippy toe with. You know what I mean? I had like 6 albums I had written down. You know what I mean? All about the game, just whoop whoop. And man, God rocked my world, bro. Yeah. He rocked my world. When we make plans, they say when we make plans, God laughs. You know what I'm saying? And so I had these plans, but man, God rocked my world, bro. And it gave me a new heart, a new perspective. I seen what I was doing. Exploiting women were wrong. You know what I mean? I never really seen it like that because you know what I mean? It was, I just didn't process it that way. You know what I mean? And so he showed me how to be a man, how to be a real man and provider, how to be faithful. One of the girls who were with me was my bottom, Jill. She's still with me through the whole thing, man, through me abusing her, just letting off all my anger and my pain on her, man. Even going to prison, they took everything. She was raising my 2 boys, you know what I'm saying? Because she was my baby mom too. And she just was loyal to me, stayed down to me. Now she's my wife, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Yeah, bro. Now
we celebrate that too, guys, because we definitely do not celebrate enough. So make sure you, man, talk about that. Drop it in the channel. Tell my boy congratulations, man. He been through hell and back. You know what I'm saying? And now he's doing God's work, man. So what type of work are you doing? Like
man. So God just sent me out there, man. I start doing ministry, outreach ministry, giving stuff to the homeless, praying for people. We started going state to state. I changed my music up from gangster music to gospel music.
Come on,
so
man.
I came on and started doing like Christian hip hop.
Come on, man.
Locked in with brothers like Brian Trejo from Kingdom Music, Antoine Hill from Kingdom Music, man. I had my brother Pastor Tone that was with me, man. Yeah, so we started doing a lot of stuff, man. We started going like to Spokane, my brother's Triple R gang, Real Recognized Real Ministries. We started going to Spokane, California, I had another ministry out there, PhD Ministries, Prayer, Healing, and Deliverance Ministries under Prophet David Gurley and Pastor Russell Dickerson out there in Eugene and LA, Long Beach, man. So I was just going wherever God was sending me, man. You know what I'm saying? We started a church, planted a church, pastoring for a minute, man. Now today, man, I moved to New York, Syracuse, New York.
Okay.
But man, we got a Bible study with nothing but gangsters, man, like ex-gangsters, new gangsters, like dudes that's still straddling the fence.
Yes.
They just want something different. You know what I mean? So we started a Bible study. It started up with just 4 of us, and it just expanded, man. I publicly denounced Crip. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Say that again. Say that again.
Denounce.
Yes.
I publicly denounced and renounced Crip, man. You know what I mean? My set. I don't like to promote my set or nothing like that. So just know that I was a Crip. Yeah, bro. I publicly did for 30. It took 30 years for me to publicly say, man, this is evil. It cannot be reformed. It cannot be changed. It has to be rooted and it has to be destroyed. You know what I mean? Yes. And believe me, I tried to figure out ways to reform it. I've tried ways to but what God revealed to me is you cannot reform a seed. If it's an apple seed, it's going to produce apples. If it's a pear seed, it's going to produce pears. It's not going to change. And so if it's a seed of destruction, man, it's always going to produce destruction. And for 50 plus years, we've seen the seed produce nothing but destruction, nothing but chaos, nothing but hurt, nothing but broken families, man. And so, I had to stand up against it, man. And so, man, but by doing that, I got a little pushback, but I got embraced by the younger generation that's able to see it. And like, man, I'm feeling what Meez is saying. And sometimes before we hang up, bro, sometimes we have to, especially the OGs, man, especially the dudes that's been around. You don't know just because you may be removed from the block, these young dudes remember you and they respect you and look up to you.
Yes.
A lot of times when we want to be approved by them, and so what we'll do is we will be far removed from it, but we'll throw the hat on, right? Mm-hmm. We'll come around with the blue on and the red on and the, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We might get in the picture and throw up a sign with them, right?
Or as you speak to them, you change the letters and the words just to
you speaking the lingo, but you're really a professional. You didn't change your ways, and so when you in the workplace, you don't talk like that,
right?
But now when you in the homies, you cousin and this and that, y'all blue blue woo, right? Mm-hmm. But what you're doing is you're making it almost impossible for them to go a different direction because they're looking and seeking your approval. Yes. So if you make it okay to say, bro, no, this ain't the right way. If you make it okay to say, for them, when they see, I'm talking about by example. If you make it okay by example by saying, man, y'all need some jobs. Y'all need to get off this stuff, bro. Y'all need to woo. You start making it okay. Man, why you wearing? I remember even when I was in the street, I started wearing red. Mm-hmm. Because I never cared. Even when I was a Crip, I used to wear red because I used to say, I'm disguised. I'm disguised. I remember dudes started wearing red when they used to always wear blue.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when I think back of those things and I think how much influence that a dude who got respect in the street has, man, if you really want to save your youngsters from getting killed, your young homies from getting killed, man, make it okay for them to remove themselves.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Make it okay for them to say, man, I want to get a job. I want to live. It's okay to live, bro.
No.
You know what I mean? No. Like it's okay to live, man. It like if your young homie say, man, bro, I want to live.
Your job is supposed to help them, lead them to living a better way of living,
man. Period, man. And so that's what we doing, bro. We doing this Bible study, man. It went from 4, now we got 20 to 25 dudes on Bloods and Crips, though.
Yes,
enemies, bro. We done squashed beefs with dudes. I'm on the phone, like, hey, man, he on my Bible study, bro. Hey, can y'all come to it? You know, man, let this thing go. And it's been, man, God has been moving in that, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's big, bro. I'm so proud of you, bro. That's why I wanted to have this interview with you, and I want to be more intentional. I want to check in with you maybe every 3 months, every couple months, just to help you push that agenda, because I'm a God-fearing man, bro, and I've done my share of dirt, right? But I've never not known where God was in my life. You know, I've had my own issues with the streets based on my association with God, right?
Man, for sure, bro. Hey, man, you know, and I'm proud of you too, bro. You know what I'm saying? We go from the ground up, man, and
the ground up, bro.
And you know, the stuff that you're doing, man, and recovery, and just the outlets and the encouragement, bro, and the things that you're doing and the impact that you're making, bro. Just keep it up, man. That's what we're here for, man.
Absolutely,
for sure.
Thank you. So, if somebody wants to join the Zoom call like that I want to come just to be there, just for the energy, bro. I ain't
definitely. Hey, so you can reach me on Facebook, right? You can reach me on Facebook, Mark Anthony Miles Jr., or you can reach me at Meezilini the Messenger, Meezilini, just like on here, the Messenger that's all my social media accounts, really. That's Instagram, that's YouTube, that's Facebook. Mm-hmm. You can always reach me there, man. And you know, I just dropped a clothing line called Beastie.
Okay.
Beastie athletic wear.
Okay.
It's for the dudes that's, you know, the men and women out there, man, that's about that athletics, you know, getting in the gym, working out. It helps to motivate you, because you can see your muscles as you work out. You know what I mean? You can see the progress that you're making. The fabric is beautiful. So yeah, man, I'm doing pre-orders now, so I haven't fully launched it yet.
Okay.
But man, it's crazy because I've been getting pre-orders after pre-orders, and I'm like, dang, I didn't really expect it. Right. I didn't expect it to move like this, but man, God is good, man. And so,
bro.
Yeah, man, Meezilini the Messenger on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, man. You can reach me there, DM me. Man, I'll send you the link on Tuesday, man, and you can join us, man. We just some brothers. You know, it's no judgment. Brothers is just trying to do something different, man. Everybody,
I'm gonna take that word out your vocabulary officially today. Not trying, brothers doing. Okay,
brothers doing. Come on,
power, man. Trying like for people that want to fail at some point. No, but doers.
Yeah,
you doing your thing.
Brothers is doing it.
I saw somebody even talk about it. I saw, I think it was, I forgot his name.
Spank
went to one, man. He was powered up.
Spank locked in, bro. He's at everyone. Yeah. Spank is at every Tuesday. Spank is there, bro.
Man, shout out to Spank. Man, that's the work he doing too, man. When I shot him out, man. All that everybody that's doing something in the communities, bro. I want to just shout y'all out, man. Keep doing the work, because there's no replacement for doing the work. You can't buy recovery. You have to work for it. And this is another form of recovery. That's why I wanted to have you, bro, because you talking about God, bro. You came from shoot 'em up, bang, bang, to banging for Christ, man. That's important. And man, and I love you even more today than I did when we was kids, bro, because I love the message that you putting out. Anything I ever can do, ever to support you, man, big your mission up, just send me the message, bro. It's automatically shared. That's the world we live in now, right? We gotta be pushing people's messages, bro. If you really support somebody, the best thing you can do is share their message.
Right.
So I'm gonna be more intentional with that, because I want the people that follow you and the people that want a place to come, because there's people, man, that don't know where to go, bro. They just they lost in the sauce. Right. You know how it is. Right. So I love what you're doing for the community, bro. Shout out to you, bro. 100.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all, man. Look, man. Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, man. That's all I can say is I surrendered to the Lord. Ooh. And he changed my life, and he blew my mind, man.
Man,
love you, bro.
I love you.
Hey, anytime, man. Let me know, man.
Yep.
Let me know.
Yep.
You know
I'm gonna have you on, bro.
Cool.
I'm gonna have you on the show, man. Every 3 months, I'm actually gonna send you the link, man. You just schedule it out, bro, because that's what it is. I'm gonna always tap in with you. I want to support the clothing line. I want to support the mission.
Yes, sir.
That's my job. Okay. So guys, make sure you guys tap in, man. Tap in. Call me on Al. That's my main sponsor. OWWLL is for today's working entrepreneur. I'll send you my link. I'll send you everything, bro. So all you gotta do is just follow the yellow brick road.
Yeah, because I was just finna note, put it in my notes.
No, I'll send you the link. All you gotta do is click it and then download it and then follow it. I'm on that like nobody's business, man. It's a great platform. And then shout out lastly to my production team, Ocean Tree Creative. If you haven't heard of them, bro, you need to tap in with them. If you need any production, any kind of post, pre, they are the ones. Okay, they do all of my work. They're gonna take this, edit it, and make it pretty for us, and then release. They schedule the release. They do everything for me. So always shout them out, man. Every show, every episode. I could not do this. I would not be here without them. I'm just a personality. They do all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
So shout out to you, man. I love you guys, man. I love you, Mark, man. If you ever need me, bro, all you gotta do is send me the text. I'm there. 100.
Already, bro. Love you, bro.
Love you too. Until next time, guys, take care of yourself. Make sure you take care of yourself and each other. Let's go.
Post-production is done with care by Ocean Tree Creative.